Cancer, a topic on which more myths are available and seem believable than the actual facts. So in this video, let's burst 7 cancer myths. Hi, hello and welcome to another episode of Gayathry. My name is Gayathry. Before we move on to the video, let me inform you that the information and the sources that I have used for this video, major part of it comes from Dr. Augustus Morris. He's the doctor in Kerala. He has done videos and I will link those video links in the description. Even though it's in Malayalam, I will check if the subtitles can be made available. Plus, other sources will also be cited in the description. Alright, so let's move on to the video. What is cancer? So in simple words, cancer can be described as uncontrolled, purposeless division of cells. We all have learned about cell division and we know that cell division happens every day. Okay, if you don't know, no problem. Let me just tell you. Cell division happens at different stages and even in everyday cases, cell divisions happen. For example, some of the skin cells might be lost in everyday activity and new cells are reproduced. So thus cell division happens in everyday life. But in that particular cell division, if something goes wrong, it could be triggered by some factors or might be genetic, but if something goes wrong in the cell division process, it might end up as cancerous. Those new cells could be cancerous cells. So the main reason for cancer can be categorized into two: internal and external factors. So internal factor does not mean the internal side of our body, but it's mainly you have to go inside the cell, which means genetic. So genetic factor is one, and the external factors, they can again be divided into 4 different categories. One is harmful chemical agents. When I say harmful chemical agents, don't hear chemical agents because there is enough of chemophobia already. People fear the word chemical so much that they forget that our whole body is full of chemicals. Even the cell is chemical, carbon, our cells are made up of different chemical molecules. So chemical is nothing to be afraid of, but yes, harmful chemical, toxins and all might cause cancer. For example, people who work in factories who are more exposed to coal and coal tar, that actually might trigger cancer. The second factor is physical factor, which includes rays and radiations. For example, ultraviolet rays or the X-ray radiation, things like that. So we'll get more into that in a little while when we are busting the myth. Because we usually hear the mobile phone radiation thing. So we'll also find out the truth about that in this video. The third external factor that might cause cancer is hormonal factor. It doesn't mean, the external hormones that we consume. There are myths about how chicken is infused with special hormones and all. So no, it's not about that. The hormonal factor that causes cancer, it is mainly because of our own body hormones. And the fourth reason is biological. One such example could be cancer that are caused by virus. We know that human papilloma virus causes cancer, right? Cervical cancer. So yes, so these are the reasons. I'm just being quick here. So these are the reasons, and now let's move on to the myths one by one. Cancer myth number 1: mobile phone or smartphone radiations cause cancer. This is absolutely a wrong information because the radiations that come out of cell phones or smartphones are low frequency radiations, non-ionizing radiations. So ionizing radiations are the ones that can actually enter our skin or alter our skin cells and all, and which might lead to cancer. But when the radiation itself is non-ionizing, which means it cannot interfere with our cell structure, it cannot cause cancer. This is one of the biggest myths. In fact, we have seen big budget movies handling this whole pseudoscience or this whole myth as a truth. They are portraying it as a sad truth of the society. Myth number 2: stopping sugar consumption will cure cancer. Now, there are evidences that show that cancer cells consume more glucose than the normal cells, but in no means it has been proven that sugar consumption or glucose consumption or the lack of it has anything to do with cancer cure or increasing the cancer. Well, that is related to once cancer has occurred. But another thing we should be aware about sugar consumption is the chances of causing cancer. It is to be noted that diabetes can actually reduce one's immunity, hence the risk of the cancer is slightly higher. Also, we know that sugar causes obesity, and obesity causes something called peripheral conversion of estrogen. Estrogen is a hormone, so this might lead to breast cancer. So these are the only ways sugar consumption is related or connected to cancer. It's not a direct connection that you eat sugar and you get cancer. It's not like that. If you eat sugar and you get diabetes, or if you eat sugar and if you get become obese, and then your bodily functions changes and many other wrong things happen, along with that cancer could also happen. Myth number 3, it has 2 categories. One is herbal cure and superfood prevention. So let's deal with the herbal cure first. So there is no evidence, no scientific evidence at all that any herbs or any natural fruits or juices or leaves can cure cancer. In India, many have lost their life simply because they have refused chemotherapy or other scientific methods, and instead they have chosen their natural herbal methods to cure cancer, and it's too late until they realize that it's not working. Well, coming on to the next part of this myth, the superfoods can prevent cancer, can they? Not exactly, because most of the articles that you read, they want you to buy these superfood or super supplements from them. Actual fact is that, of course, a healthy diet prevents obesity and thus reducing the cancer risk. So it doesn't have to be a superfood. It can be any food taken in correct quantity and with a healthy diet and exercise and a good lifestyle. Myth number 4, positive thinking. Well, where do I even begin? The internet, especially the YouTube, is filled with positive thinking videos, and it's good to a point where it makes you pleasant, but when it reaches a point that it claims to have some supernatural powers and it can control the world around you, or your ambitions can be controlled, or your wishes can be granted if you think positively, or something magical happens, things like that. Like, so much of BS is all around the internet. Many of these law of positive energies and subconscious power of subconscious mind, and these people claim that they can actually cure cancer. The fact is that there is no scientific evidence that can link to someone's positive thinking to cancer treatment, cancer cure, or the lack of it. Well, I think I'll have to make an entirely different video on that. Comment below if you want to know about that. You can also comment if you think negative energy and positive energy is there, like an energy, the energy as physics describes it. So if you believe that also, you can comment. Then I'll come up with a new video entirely regarding that. So myth number 5 is that cosmetics and hair colors will cause cancer. Nope. While it is true that there were some harmful chemical components found in some hair dyes before 1980s, before 1980s, but nowadays we get the best things in the market, and no product will contain anything that is carcinogenic, especially in terms of dyes or cosmetics. So next time someone comes to you and tells you that, okay, this will cause you cancer, ask them for the source, ask them for the information, from where did they get this information, and the website or whatever source that they show should be scientific, should be peer reviewed. Myth number 6, the big pharma myth, or cancer cure is being withheld myth. First of all, we should understand that cancer is not just one disease that, this disease, this has this cure. It's a spectrum of 100 related, or I think more than 100 related diseases, and it causes in different parts of body, affects differently. So the main challenge in curing any disease, be it cancer, be it finding a treatment or vaccination for COVID, it would be that we have to make sure that it is effective plus it is safe. It's easier to kill a cancer cell, but what happens to the patient? And trust me, scientists and medics around the world are struggling, trying hard to find a cure. And myth number 7. This is really funny, but believable. I mean, most of these sound believable, and I think at some point or the other, we might have believed all of these, or maybe some of these at least. So coming back to the myth number 7, it is cancer is a modern disease that is created by humans. No, that is a big fat lie, or I would say big fat wrong information. First of all, coming to the modern part, cancer has always been there, even check with your ancestors. everywhere cancer has been there, but nobody knew that it was cancer. Why the cancer numbers are high now? It is because we have more diagnosis methods, we have more accurate diagnosis, we should say. Plus the life expectancy is high. For example, the average life expectancy of a country was 30 to 40 years. Now it has become 60 to 70 or 70 to 80. Which means if a person lives more than 50 years, of course there are chances that he will get more diseases, right? It's impossible to get a disease if you're not alive. So that way life expectancy and more diagnosis have led to more reporting of the cases. So the more reporting in the current scenario doesn't mean that there was less cancer cases in the past, because no way one could diagnose cancer before. And coming to the funniest part, created by humans. Cancer is created by humans? Not exactly, because 240 million years ago, according to the fossil that we found a fossil of a dinosaur bone, which is like the femur. The femur of that dinosaur bone had cancer, and that dinosaur bone is 240 million years old. So I don't think humans existed. No, humans and dinosaurs didn't coexist at all. So humans did not create cancer. So these are, this is how myths are created. I don't know, people, they use their imagination and their emotions, and they come up with such wrong information. So let's not contribute to such false information. Let's start spreading more awareness. We all know that knowledge is power, right? So eliminating wrong information is also a very powerful form of spreading knowledge. So I would request you to share this video with your friends, your family groups, so that more and more people can be well aware of these facts. In fact, take initiative in spreading awareness. Alright, so if you like what I said in this video, you can comment below, and you can support me by subscribing and clicking the bell icon, turning on the notification. It will be a great help for me, and it will encourage me to create more videos for you. Alright, bye.